Americans are reeling under mass shootings and endless gun violence. While this was one of the most critical issues for voters in the midterm polls, the US is only witnessing a rise in shooting incidents as citizens plead for a better future. The horrible events often witness a man or even a child carrying a gun and opening fire in a public area. People at a Walmart supermarket saw a similar incident in the southeastern state of Virginia. At least 6 people were killed when a gunman opened fire at this Walmart store and later shot himself. This happened in the city of Chesapeake. The police say the shooter was a Walmart employee and his motives remain unclear.
6 victims have died. 4 victims are in area hospitals with conditions unknown at this time. And the suspect is dead from what we believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The Chesapeake Police SWAT team executed a search warrant at the suspect's residence, and with the help of the Virginia State Police, we cleared the house. We have reason to believe that there's no risk to the public at this time.
Such incidents are creating a grim routine to these mass shootings. This is the 3rd straight year when the US has witnessed more than 600 mass shootings. The deadliest one being the massacre in which 19 children and 2 teachers were killed at a school in Texas. America crossed the 600 mark 3 days ago when a gunman killed 5 people in a gay bar in Colorado. The bar experienced horror at midnight when it was preparing to celebrate the Transgender Day of Remembrance, a day which honors trans people killed in hate attacks.
Just want to say that we are all strong. The community is strong, and we will all get through this. I lost 2 of my dear friends in the shooting, and being in here, I could not go to any vigils. They took everything away as if they were trying to take my life as well.
Almost every month of 2022 has seen citizens suffer from the gun violence archive, which is now called the American disease. The GVA recorded 690 mass shootings in 2021 and 610 in 2020. This represents the steady increase in deadly violence since the COVID pandemic began. Experts define a mass shooting as an incident in which at least 4 people, other than the person wielding the gun, are shot. Now, the question that arises is, will the establishment step up to restrict access to arms and ammunition, or will the world power break a new record for gun violence? For more on this, we're now joined by Robert Bill, professor at the Georgia Institute of Technology in the US. Thanks very much, Robert Bill, for speaking to WION. Now, 2022, as we mentioned, is the 3rd consecutive year when the US has witnessed more than 600 mass shootings. Yes, the Democrats keep talking about gun control. President Obama, President Biden and others have spoken about it. It was a major issue in the midterms too. Yet, fact of the matter is, nothing ever changes. Is the sway of the all-powerful gun lobby in the US impossible to overcome?
It's virtually impossible to overcome. There are only 2 areas where there's really been any movement on this issue for some years. The first is the so-called red flag laws that would allow the police to take guns away from someone who is in danger of causing violence. And the other would be to reinstate a ban on assault rifles, the kind of ban that President Clinton, who I worked for at the White House during his presidency, was able to have in place for 10 years.
All right. Now, that does paint a very grim picture. But the question that now arises is, if a majority of Republicans, for example, continue to resist any new legislation to tighten gun control in the name of the Second Amendment, and now the House of Representatives is in fact controlled by the GOP, does that mean that there is absolutely no hope and Americans will continue to be killed in senseless violence?
One can always hope, but I think realistically it looks impossible for the foreseeable future. This terrible shooting in Virginia, where I come from, yesterday, the man that was the killer used a pistol not an assault rifle. And he was an employee of the store, so he probably would be eligible to have a gun under Virginia law, even with the red flag laws. So as much as it breaks my heart to say this, I don't think that yesterday's shooting is going to be the event that changes the political equation in my country.
Well, this really is heartbreaking and infuriating at so many levels. Will Americans just continue to die in this senseless violence? Thanks very much, Robert Bell, for speaking to WION.
You're welcome.